Imagine a battle where one side seemingly has everything going for them: a larger army, a successful flank attack, and a weary opponent. And yet, a single decision crumbles all of that advantage. This is the story of the Battle of Gaugamela, where a critical error made by the Persian king Darius III handed on a silver plate and unlikely victory to Alexander the Great, thus profoundly reshaping the course of history. Hi, my name is Sebastian, and these are mistakes that changed the world. In 331 BC, the Achaemenid king of kings of Persia, Darius III, made a decision during the Battle of Gaugamela that ruined the Achaemenid dynasty and erased their empire. The battle was fought near the present-day city of Erbil in northern Iraq, and it seemed like an easy win against a cocky Greek boy from Macedonia. His army far outnumbered the enemy's, and he fought where and pretty much when he pleased. Almost everything was in favor of the Persian emperor, except for one personal issue. The enemy commander, the Greek boy, was none other than Alexander the Great, and he was leading a direct attack on the King of Kings. Alexander's attack indeed posed a serious threat to Darius, but at that moment the rest of the battle was going quite well for the Persians. On the right flank, they were pushing back the Greeks, who were led by Alexander's best general, Parmenion. The central part didn't have much to fight except for the area in front of the throne from which Darius commanded the battle. There, the elite cavalry and some of the best Macedonian phalanxes had deviated along the Persian front and were making their way towards the emperor. Essentially, no Greek soldier was facing the giant left flank of the Persian army. A few years earlier, during the Battle of Issus, Darius had fled when the battle seemed lost. Then, he ran back to Babylon, and that didn't really have any consequences on his control over the heart of the empire. There, he formed a new, much larger army with the intent to use this superior force to defeat Alexander in the upcoming battle. Darius' survival was politically important. The position of Emperor of Persia wasn't easy to get. In order to claim the throne and be recognized by the rest of the empire, Alexander had to capture or kill Darius III. Probably the fact that he had fled at Issus without consequences made the emperor believe that he could do it again without everything turning into a disaster. Or maybe, although he was a capable politician, when faced with his own demise, he was nothing more but a coward. Whatever the motivation, before the Macedonians even approached his throne, the emperor climbed into a battle chariot and was taken away. There were more Persian foot soldiers covering Darius' retreat than phalanx fighters, which by the way were the heavy infantry units carrying 4-meter-long metal-tipped lances. These guys were the ones bearing the burden of the pushing forward that formed the basis of Alexander's fighting tactics. Anyway, Darius' decision to flee had devastating consequences. His soldiers, seeing their leader run away, lost heart. The coordinated Persian assault faltered. Parmenion, Alexander's key general, in the meantime was being slaughtered by the much superior Persian infantry and cavalry, and almost half of the Macedonian army was about to be destroyed. So decimated were Parmenion's troops that Alexander had to use all his attacking force to support his heavily pressed left flank. This command decision was even more difficult as Alexander knew that all he had to do was eliminate the King of Kings for a decisive victory. Fortunately, as the leadership of Persia was a very personal matter, when news reached the soldiers' ears that Darius ran away again, the rest of his army laid down their arms or outright fled. From almost any point of view, Darius wasn't losing the battle when he decided to run. He still had plenty of unengaged troops that could be called upon, including an impressive cavalry. If, when attacked, he had simply moved to another location and his men had continued to fight, there was a good chance he could have won. He would certainly have punished the Macedonian army to its maximum limits, which was already at the end of a very long supply line with too few reinforcements on the way, and at the point where it could not effectively occupy the capital. If that would have happened, Alexander the Great could have been known today as Alexander who stretched more than his blanket and failed. But, for whatever reason, Darius decided to run away, and run he did. He was still on the run when, a few weeks later, he ended up being killed by his own general and relative, Bessus. Darius's fatal choice wasn't just a tactical blunder, it had lasting historical significance. His flight signaled the end of the Persian threat to Greece. Alexander's victory paved the way for the spread of Greek culture and ideas, shaping the world we know today. Meanwhile, Darius III's legacy remains a study in contrast. A capable leader, he ultimately faltered at a critical moment. His flight may have stemmed from fear or a misunderstanding of the situation. What is certain is that his single decision transformed Alexander the Great from an ambitious conqueror to a historical legend and threw Darius's legacy to the bottoms of historic accounts. So what do you think? Could Darius have won if he had stayed and fought? Was his flight a cowardly act or a strategic miscalculation? Discuss it in the comments downstairs. If you enjoyed this exploration of leadership and its consequences, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of battles, rulers, and turning points that shaped our world. I'd like to thank longtime Patreon supporters Dan and Lawrence Neal for their continued contribution. If you would like to support this channel, please check out my Patreon page. In the meantime, as always, I do hope to see you next time. Bye.